We have all felt it. You are talking to someone who seems perfectly friendly, yet something in their expression feels slightly off, a disconnect between the warmth of their smile and the coldness in their eyes. Most of us ignore that feeling. We navigate our days passively looking at our surroundings, but rarely decoding the specific social signals being broadcast right in front of us. While 90% of the population misses these cues, the other 10% are paying attention. They aren't just listening to words, they are tracking the intent behind them. To move into that 10%, you need a system. We are going to break down a 4-step psychological framework designed to sharpen your awareness and turn passive looking into active observation. Mastering these steps provides a clear line of sight into the motives of those around you, shifting you from a state of social confusion to one of informed clarity. The first step is to establish the baseline. This is the search for a person's normal, the behavior they exhibit when they are relaxed. Without a baseline, you have no point of comparison. You cannot accurately identify a deviation in someone's behavior if you don't first understand their natural state. Focus on 3 specific markers to build this profile: the speed of their speech, the scale of their hand gestures, and how often they maintain eye contact. Once that baseline is set, your job is to watch for the break. When a behavior suddenly shifts, you found a signal that something significant is being processed internally. Think of a friend who usually talks with high energy and constant eye contact. If they suddenly start speaking slowly while staring at the floor, the shift itself tells you more than their words do. A deviation isn't an immediate proof of a lie, but it acts as a reliable indicator that the person's psychological comfort has changed. Step 2 is to decode the body. When a person's spoken words contradict their physical movements, the body often provides the more reliable data point. While we can carefully rehearse what we say, our physical reactions are driven by the autonomic nervous system, making them harder to consciously suppress. This is most evident in microexpressions, split-second facial movements that reveal a person's genuine emotion before their conscious mind can mask it. A manufactured smile, for instance, typically only involves the mouth. A genuine smile is a full face contraction that causes the muscles at the corners of the eyes to crinkle. You see this in posture as well. Someone may verbally agree with a proposal while their entire body tenses, their shoulders rise, and their arms cross, physical signs of defensiveness that contradict their verbal consent. Learning to spot these contradictions allows you to see the friction between what someone says and how they are actually reacting to the situation. Step 3 moves from passive observing to active testing. We do this by using deliberate silence to see how the other person handles social pressure. After the other person finishes speaking, simply maintain eye contact and stay silent for 3 to 5 seconds. Do not nod or fill the gap. Most people find an unmonitored silence deeply uncomfortable. Their natural instinct is to resolve that tension as quickly as possible. To break the pressure, they will often continue talking, offering up more information, context, or even contradictions that they hadn't intended to share. This tactic shows that you don't need to speak the most to steer a conversation. Often it is the person who says the least who learns the most. Finally, step 4. Separate observation from interpretation. This is the discipline required to keep your data objective. If you observe someone looking away, the fact is simply the movement of their eyes. The story is the assumption that they are lying or being dismissive. Jumping to the story too early is a mistake. There are dozens of reasons for a single behavior. A person looking away might be trying to remember a detail or simply feeling overwhelmed. To avoid being wrong, stop issuing immediate verdicts. Approach each interaction like a researcher collecting data points over a long period. You are looking for a cluster of signals that point in the same direction. One behavior is a fluke. 3 different behaviors following the same pattern is a reliable trend. Master observers are patient. They track these patterns until the evidence is so consistent that the truth becomes difficult to ignore. These techniques only work if they become a habit. To start building that muscle, you can begin applying these steps in your interactions today. First, you must spend your next few conversations focusing solely on eye contact. Note exactly when people look away and what topic was being discussed at that precise moment. Next, try a deliberate 3-second pause after someone finishes their next thought. Watch how they react to the space you've created. Finally, pick someone you see regularly to define their baseline gestures and speech pace. See if you can spot when they deviate from that norm. Information is only useful if it is converted into an actual skill. The goal isn't just to know these steps, but to use them. If you found this breakdown useful, subscribe for more in-depth psychological guides. Most people will stay focused on the surface, but the observer sees the signals others are simply too distracted to notice.